ketogenic economy. Uganda is deliberately supporting the domestic production of medicines, vaccines, diagnostics, and other health products, while promoting research, innovation, import substitution, export growth, and resilience in the health sector. Significant progress was registered through strategic investments in and government procurement from local pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies, including Macrohim Scientifics, Day Pharma, Jena Herbal, and other emerging manufacturers. Macrohim Scientifics has established itself as a leading African manufacturer for rapid diagnostic kits, recording annual sales of approximately United States dollars 75 million from products used in the diagnosis of malaria, HIV/AIDS, and sickle cell diseases. Day Pharma has operationalized manufacturing lines for generic, oral solid, and liquid medicines and secured approvals from the National Drug Authority for a range of essential medicines. Jena Herbal, the manufacturer of Covidex, has established a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility in Soroti, expanding Uganda's capacity to produce health products locally and strengthening the country's pharmaceutical value chain. These investments are improving health security, reducing imports, and creating high-value jobs. On advancing Uganda's space science, Mr. Speaker, government has strengthened Uganda's space science and satellite technology capabilities. Government established modern ground satellite infrastructure at the Uganda National Space Center at Mpoma Mukono district. This has enabled our scientists to successfully deploy a climate camera to the International Space Station. This has expanded the country's capacity to generate real-time data for climate monitoring, environmental management, disaster preparedness, and evidence-based decision-making. On value addition under STI, Mr. Speaker, government has intensified agro-industrialization initiatives driven by scientific innovation aimed at increasing value addition, branding, and export competitiveness. The Banana Value Addition Facility by Professor Mranga strengthened its production capacity for banana value-added products and fulfilled export orders from South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Italy. In addition, government has invested in the establishment of the Coffee Park in Ntungamo. The Africa Coffee Park has innovated 18 products of value-added coffee ready to go into the market for roast, freeze-dry, and spray-dry high-level technology. On digital transformation, Mr. Speaker, government continued expanding digital infrastructure to improve the availability, reliability, affordability of ICT services, as well as access to the services. During the year, an additional 879 kilometers of fiber optic cable were installed, bringing the national fiber backbone to approximately 62,941 kilometers. As a result, internet costs declined from $70 to $35 per megabyte per second. Active mobile internet subscriptions stand at 18.5 million, while the number of smartphones connected to Ugandan network has reached 20 million. Total registered mobile telephone subscriptions have reached 57.3 million, placing Uganda among the most connected markets in the region. The increased penetration of mobile telephones has increased financial inclusion and improved access to e-commerce, telemedicine, marketing, and agricultural information for farmers. In the year ending March 2026, mobile money transactions rose by 29% to Uganda shillings 392.7 trillion. Active mobile money accounts stood at 36.7 million. As at 31st March 2026, the number of mobile money agents had reached 1.22 million. I now come to creative arts. Mr. Speaker, to protect intellectual property and artistic works, government enacted the Copyright Enabling Rights Amendment Act 2025. Government also established the Uganda Creatives Revolving Fund to provide affordable financing circles in the creative economy. By December 2025, approximately Uganda shillings 18.99 billion had been disbursed to 50 circles of musicians, benefiting 3,047 individuals, of whom 62% are youth and 43% are women. Government is also finalizing the acquisition of a dedicated home for creative artists to serve as a common user facility for young talents to create wealth and jobs. The priority dairy farmer, drugs, and the banana products. Number 2, establishment of a high-tech city. 3, additional investment in science, research, and innovation. 4, expansion of digital infrastructure to increase coverage, reliability, and affordability of internet, government services, and e-commerce. 5, growth of business process outsourcing for job creation. 6, expanding the free-to-air TV signal. And 7, strengthening intellectual property protection. I now come to enablers. Mr. Speaker, government also continued to invest in the key enablers of socio-economic transformation in line with the NDP4 and the tenfold growth strategy. These include human capital development, infrastructure, security, and the rule of law, as well as domestic revenue mobilization to finance the transformation agenda. Under enabler number 1, which is peace, security, and rule of law, Mr. Speaker, peace, security, and rule of law are the foundations of development. Without peace, you cannot create prosperity. Without security and the rule of law, there is no investment. Without stability, there is no growth. Mr. Speaker, I wish to repeat this. Without peace, you cannot create prosperity. Without security and rule of law, there is no investment. Without stability, there is no growth. Government has continued to invest in security, justice, and governance institutions. This financial year, the following milestones have been achieved. 1. Government continued strengthening security infrastructure, intelligence services, and operational capacity while improving the welfare of our security personnel in the UPDF, police, prisons, and intelligence services. 2. Uganda remains one of the region's most stable countries. Despite being an election year, reported crimes fell by 10.2% from 218,715 cases in 2024 to 196,405 in 2025, reducing the crime rate from 502 to 427 per 1,000 people. 3. Uganda continued to contribute to regional peace and security through African Union and UN peace support operations in Somalia, alongside military deployments in the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, and other places. Number 4, the 275-bed National Referral Military Hospital in Mbuya, Kampala, is now operational. It attends to an average of 150 patients per day for services including dialysis, dental care, physiotherapy, and ENT. Number 5, construction of the UPDF military headquarters in Mbuya is 70% complete. In addition, over 230 housing units and new administrative blocks for the Air Force and Marines are under construction to enhance personnel welfare and operational efficiency. Number 6, government provided over Uganda shillings 1.697 trillion to the relevant institutions to organize the recently concluded successful general elections. Number 7, mass enrollment and issuance of national identity cards progressed well. The total population identified with the National Identification Number NIN is 34.14 million, renewals 13.85 million, cards printed 14.67 million, and cards issued to the population 6.2 million. Beyond securing elections and supporting national security, the national ID has improved access to public services, broadened financial inclusion, and eased travel within the East African community. Number 8, cattle restocking has begun in Acholi, Rango, Teso, and Teso, targeting 16,000 households, each receiving 5 million to purchase 2 bulls and 3 heifers. To date, 2,000 households have been compensated. Financial year 2026-2027 priorities for security, governance, and rule of law are the following. Mr. Speaker, government has allocated Uganda shillings 10.21 trillion security, governance, and rule of law institutions for financial year 2026-2027, and the priority interventions include: 1. continued modernization, training, and welfare of the UPDF. 2, full equipping of the National Referral Military Hospital and completion of the UPDF headquarters. 3, strengthening of broader security, counter-terrorism, and regional peace support operations. 4, enhancing community policing, crime intelligence, forensics, and CCTV coverage. 5, cyber security and protection of critical national infrastructure. 6, improving immigration services, NIN/ID enrollment, and e-passport issuance. 7, fighting against corruption. 8, continued cattle restocking in the Acholi, Rango, Teso sub-regions. I now come to enabler number 2, which is infrastructure development. Mr. Speaker, sir, transport infrastructure is the bone marrow of the economy. It connects farmers to markets, workers to jobs, and industries to inputs, while linking exporters to regional and global markets. Electricity powers industrialization and drives economic transformation. In financial year 2025-2026, government achieved the following infrastructure development. Under roads and bridges, government continued with the construction of 24 major roads, totaling approximately 1,154 kilometers, and rehabilitated a further 949 kilometers of national roads. 2, government continued developing 14 strategic bridges to enhance connectivity, improve access to socio-economic services, and support the movement of goods and people within and across regions. 3, government stepped up maintenance of national roads network. Over 7,400 kilometers of paved and 14,000 kilometers of unpaved roads were maintained through labor-based contracts, and a further 1,282 kilometers of paved and 3,146 kilometers of unpaved roads were looked after under routine mechanized maintenance. 4, government opened 124 kilometers, graded 175 kilometers, and gravelled 64 kilometers of district and community access roads using the force account. 5, local governments maintained 2,700 kilometers of district and community access roads, upgraded and maintained 820 kilometers of city and municipal roads, and rehabilitated 120 kilometers of district roads. Under development of Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, government has embarked on revamping road infrastructure in Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area. The target is to upgrade over 600 kilometers in the next 5 years and to maintain all major existing roads.